Hi everyone, I'm Tina. This is To the Inner Wild. Thanks for stopping by. I forgot how to... Okay, here we go. It's been a long time since I've used these cards. This is a Nile fortune telling deck. Anyway, called to me like a couple times within the past hour of going through stuff. So I thought I'd do a little daily focus card or a set of like a trifecta. And we have 9 of Swords. Or 9 of Spades, yes. Okay, so what this says, okay, top is generally a wide circle of friends. That's great. 9 of Swords normally means like you're going through pain, sorrow, loss. It's a general feeling of it. There's no implication of the cause to say whether or not you're overreacting or not responding at all. But that's the first card. Then we have the 5 of Swords emerging from a battle, an argument, a battle, conflict, and coming out winning. I got low battery responding on there, so maybe that means that you're feeling also drained right now. I saw 151 on the clock. I don't know if that means anything, but you can look that up. And it says your companion in life will be devoted to you. Well, that's nice. Okay, so maybe that's just some reassurance that whatever you guys are going through in your relationship of concern, whether that be personified through your work or through like a project or a specific person, doesn't have to be romantic. Let's see here. So they're side by side. Yeah, okay, so let's go ahead and read the annexed versions. Okay, so we have the 7 of Cups or 7 of Hearts, the blessings of health. Well, that's wonderful to have in these current times. And today I had to kind of rearrange my thought patterns to become more flexible with the fires that are going on a few blocks away from me, literally. So I had to gather all the things that I wanted to evacuate, my resources right now, the accumulation of it at the end of like my cap, like, okay, it's time to put these into play, organize and put them into play. And now I'm beyond that point of resourcing materials, supplies in order to advance myself. So here we go. 7 of Cups is about options, rumination, cyclical patterns. Okay, so when we look at these annexed, it says an obstacle is to be overcome on a 9 of Spades, and you will overcome an enemy without your knowledge. Oh, do you see that? Side by side. Looking at this right here in between. So what a great depiction of the terms of these cards, right? We're looking at the positive sides, which is your blessings, really, that elevate you and keep you above this conflict to help you rise. You see that? How cool is that? And we have like 9 to 5. That's your work day. Sometimes that's painful, just getting through your 9 to 5, whether or not you're employed, just whatever you're really committing yourself to on a primary basis. I think that's what it's saying. And 7 right next to it, which is like 7 days a week, yeah? So it's what you're devoted to is what it's saying. And maybe we should look up the angel number 957. We're also going to look at the bottom of the deck as a base to unify this messaging structure. So from the 5 to the 7, it says you will meet a young man who will befriend you. Okay, that's nice. So it's like out with the old, in with the new. So overcoming adversity, which is kind of like once you process something, you're also in effect letting it go. And so out with the old in with the new. That's really nice. So next to that is a gift of a jewel or jewelry. Maybe it is romantic, you know. Jewelry does tend to depict that. I mean, you're not going to get a piece of jewelry from your brother or sister, right? But you know, we have to expand our thoughts, our relationships in context as they expand and grow. So it could be like a simple trinket, something that shows a display of fondness. And so at the bottom of the deck, we have the page of swords. Okay, so it says a dark young man fond of music. Okay, and we could look at both sides of it too, whether we want to use that as a precursor or the tail end of the reading. I'd say that this is like the comprehensive underlying energy, the card at the bottom of the deck to the full scope. So it says a true friend and an honorable enemy. Okay. And then a young bachelor, trust him not. Okay. So maybe there's an offer of interest on the table, or interest lying on both sides that progresses an offer. However, it looks like in this timeline that this person will help as far as a new cycle, maybe like a soulmate, an energy, a karmic cycle, in the current trajectory of being, you know, another point of adversity to help advance your growth, your spiritual expansion, or your expansion in human condition experience. Yeah, because it says a young bachelor trusts him not. If it were to be posed, okay, let me say this. Okay, so when we use it as a prefix, look at it in link, a young bachelor, not to be trusted, next to an enemy, cultivate friends, they will aid you. So yeah, there's someone in your life that is toxic, that is not trustworthy, unreliable in some contexts, and the lack of reciprocity or unreliability, the gestures of instability that will kind of signal you to this. So if we use that as a precursor, they're also saying to, as a form of protection, to engage yourself in community of those that will back you up. And then if we use that as the ending part, it says a true friend and an honorable enemy next to you must shortly decide a matter of much moment. Okay. Let's think about, before this might cut us off, and thank Spirit and our angels with regards to this, because I feel like there is an inspired direction to these messages to be received. So, a true friend and an honorable enemy. Let's think about what makes up an honorable enemy. And you know, when we're striving for something, let's speak in sports, your victory is not as savory, as fulfilling, if you're not in the same league, if your opponents are not at your level. You want to it's like healthy competition, and the right mindset, as far as, you know, you put out your best when it comes to healthy competition. And I feel like, I think both emerge. It's the opposition to this. So this is like coming out of a battle feeling like you have lost, even as a winner. And I think that's the transitional energy of this, the honorable part right here, the honorable adversary. And I don't want to use compete as an absolute term to this, but the spirit of the opposition is just as admirable as your own. and meant to advance you. So if there is a love offer in true spirit of giving and wanting of exchange, maybe they're not ready to exchange or you to them, whatever. So I feel like if there's any offer that it's going to be like time is of the essence, but you both, okay, it's a karmic calling, a karmic bond, because maybe they're an enemy because they're not so good for you or you're not so good for them, but their spirit behind the gesture, at least by surface level. Okay, so you have several options here as well to invest your time into, yes, and this is one of them that you are, it looks like, holding space for, or obviously there's some capacity in order to attract that type of energy, yes, that you don't actually receive if there's no room to receive. It doesn't, but the thing is that if you are given something, it doesn't mean that you have to receive. You still can use your discernment. I know that's common sense for a lot of people, but if there's a feeling of lacking on self, that it really does throw off your judgment. So just to keep that in mind, because your desires may have you overlook certain aspects of what's actually good for you. I feel like we have to cut the deck, but Queen of this actually just like kind of fell off. So maybe this is you, at least in your feminine capacity, which is a lovable, upright woman, which is the Queen of Pentacles. Generous, yes? Okay. So this is an auburn-haired woman, agreeable and entertaining. So it doesn't have to be that you're a redhead. It could just simply mean your fiery aspect, almost like a wands-like spirit, Queen of Wands spirit, and a fair, pleasure-loving woman. So I feel like that's us. I feel like that's us. Let's cut the deck. I feel like there's one more for us. Right, Spirit? Okay, this one. 10 of Swords in the evening. Maybe there's, what do you call it? 10 of Swords, I think, like death. Like part of the death cycle is feeling like rock bottom. This is ultimate defeat. This is the elevation of this feeling right here. And maybe, you guys are feeling that at nights, or the contemplation at nights during your darkest moments. You're thinking about just whatever distresses you. It's almost like overwhelming. I feel like that's what that is. It's next to the Queen of Pentacles, and it says news received at night. Yeah, so there might be some telepathic messages coming in around that time. There's that thing called the witching hour. So it could be anywhere from, let's say, 10 p.m. It's usually 2 a.m. I believe it's like the heightened hour, but it's 10 p.m. to like 2 or 3 a.m., something like that. So maybe that's for some of you. Maybe in your dreamscape if you're not like a night owl. I feel like there's one more, Spirit. Okay, this one was bent, but it's a Page of Pentacles. So this is an unfaithful friend. Page of Pentacles, though. Okay, next to a former friend is in prison, feeling imprisoned anyway. A young man of light complexion. Okay, so someone is feeling, this masculine energy is feeling hung up, almost the Eight of Swords energy within this feeling of despair or loss. Your direct relationship might not be the exclusive reason for this feeling. Maybe it's compounding that energy, almost condensing it to this weighted form. Okay. Yeah, because they're imbalanced right now. Okay, I'm going to just keep going until I feel like there's